How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Well, we're still in the workshop. We're still making mods. We're still trying to clean it up. Still trying to get it organized. Still trying to turn it from a work site to a workshop. So today, I've got problems with my central dust collection system. So we're going to have a go at trying to resolve those issues. Hey, we're outside again today, and look at, just before we go anywhere, check that out. It's snowing, a little bit windy. Still looks pretty nice though, eh? Yeah, it's kind of cold too, so I'm not going to hang around out here very long. But I want to talk about my dust collection system, and it all starts back here at the main dust collection unit, and I keep that in the bike shed. So let's go in there out of the wind. So there's my dust collector. It's a King Canada 2 horsepower. I guess you'd call it a cyclone dust collector. Down at the bottom part, that round squirrel cage looky thing there, that's the blower. That's where it sucks in all the dust from the workshop via this black pipe. It goes in there through the vanes of the fan, so if you're picking up big blocks of wood or something, or not big, but like say an inch piece block of wood, you'll hear it going through the fan because the fan beats the snot out of it before it sends it up this corrugated tube up into the center part of the dust collector, which is like a cyclone in there, and that's meant to separate the heavy particles from the light particles. Heavy particles fall into the bottom bag, the light particles go up into the dust bag at the top, and the air blows through that dust bag. The bottom here, I just put a plastic garbage bag on that. That works. The air doesn't have to pass through that part, so why not do that, right? So I moved my dust collector outside the shop because it was noisy, plus when this bag up here, even when it was new, never filtered out a lot of the dust. So even when the dust collector was running in the shop, it would pick up a lot of the sawdust, but the fine dust it would allow to escape back into the shop. So by moving it out here, I've resolved that problem, and it works all right. I've got a remote start for it. It plugs in the wall right back there in the corner, and I have a remote start there, so whenever I want it to start, I just say Alexa start vac, and she starts it up for me. But right now it's not working. This black pipe here, which is just a 3-inch ABS pipe, it's getting clogged. I noticed that the other day. It wasn't vacuuming very good. And if you notice in a lot of my recent videos, I haven't been using my dust collector. And the reason I haven't been using it is because that black pipe is getting plugged. It's got hardening of the arteries. So first of all, I'm going to have a look at removing that black pipe and trying to clean it. And then we're going to do some repairs on the main unit here to try to make that dust filter bag at the top work better. Okay, back here in the shop, my main trunk for the dust collector comes in through the wall here. So my dust collector is just on the other side of the wall behind my workbench. I also have tucked up in there, I don't know whether you can see it, there's a yellow outlet up there. I have an outlet up there that I could use if I choose to have vacuum available at the long bench here. Anyway, this trunk comes along here. Then I have a Y right there, and then that Y splits and it goes this way, excuse the light, comes down to this drop, and this drop was put in for my bandsaw. And then that main trunk continues on over, and you'll see way over there in the corner, it's hard to see, but there's another Y, and that Y comes along right over here, and then I had a drop down here, which was the vacuum station for my chop saw. And then that Y up there in the corner under the ceiling, that continues to a 90, and then there's a drop that comes down the pole, and I have an outlet here, and that outlet is mainly for the table saw and my jointer, which is buried in under all that stuff over there. So all in all, I have 4 outlets for my central vac in the shop here. For now, I'm just going to clean up the system I have and put it back the way it was. And then when I get the shop rearranged, then we'll look at changing the trunk lines and see how that goes. So to start with, what I want to do is, I want to get this branch line here that comes over to my chop saw station. I want to take that down out of there and set up some way to see if I can clean it out. So I'm going to try and take this line down. Now, if anyone is planning putting in a central vac system in your shop, you need to run pipelines for it, right? So I choose to put ABS, just sewer pipe, 3-inch ABS pipe. I choose to run that in the shop. But one of the other things you have to pay attention to is, or at least I think you do, is when you put it together, don't glue any of your joints. Now, some people could say you'll have a lot of air leaks that way, and you will. But I find with this ABS pipe, the joints fit together pretty tight, so I didn't think I had any problems with air leakage. But I could have, right? But anyways, it's short without gluing the joints together. Not some of the joints are glued, but most of them aren't. Without gluing the joints together, it sure does make it easy if you want to take it apart to maintain it, and you do have to maintain your dust collection system. So I'm going to take this strap out of here. Now hopefully we can get this out here. Oh yeah. You know what I need? I need a little block of wood, and I burned it all. Oh no. Here I am in my shop with no scraps of wood. What a revolting development that turned out to be, eh? There we go. So I just looked down this 10-foot piece. There is a lot of sawdust in it, but it doesn't appear to be stuck to the walls of the pipe. So I should be able to just tip it on its end, and that should all slide out. By the way, before I clean up this this piece of 10-foot ABS, there's a pile of sawdust I got. That's about 12 inches in diameter and probably 8 inches tall. So quite a bit of dust built up there. Glad I got rid of that. I was looking around trying to find something I could use to clean out that ABS pipe, and I found this old poly sweep chimney brush I have. It's a 6-inch brush. It's wore out. I saved this one, of course, because I never throw anything out. I'm thinking about cutting this down to see if I can get it to fit down the ABS pipe, because I have the 10-foot fiberglass wands going on the end of it, so you know I'd be able to clean it like that. So I think what I'm going to try and do, I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but I mean the brush is no good, so if I ruin it, you know, so what? I'd like to cut it 3 inches, so I'd have to cut about an inch and a quarter off each side probably. So here's a piece of 3-inch ABS, just a little cut off piece I have, same diameter. So I'm thinking if I place that over the top of that, I guesstimate where the center is. I'm going to have to go with cutting this back. I could be while doing this. I'm going to have wrists on me like Popeye when I'm done. So I'll be back. I went with the tin snips. Seems to work a lot better. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know, it might work. Let's try it on this big long pipe, see how we make out. Hello down there. So I've got my pipe secured to the end of the saw. I'm going to run the brush through there, and I've got 2 fiberglass wands because it's a 10-foot length, and I think these are only 8 feet long. So let's see how we make out. It's almost like the brush is too small, eh? But I can't make it bigger. Get the other wand on. Just long enough, eh? So I think next I'm going to turn my attention to getting this piece down. Okay, that's free there. And then that's free. We did it! So I'll take my brush and run that through here right quick. Okay, I'm going to declare this pipe clean. So there's our target now. From that Y, all the way over to another Y and then an elbow down to the drop line to the table saw. So I'm going to try and get at that puppy. Oh yeah, look at this. It came apart over here. See up in there? Came apart up in there. Whoops. Oh man, what a mess I'm making over here. Yeah. Well, it's down. So this is all the sawdust that came out of that piece of pipe. Well, not all of it. A bunch more of it on the floor. Yeah. I guess it was a little bit of sawdust in it. No wonder it wasn't sucking, eh? Okay, I'm going to set these pipes up, try to clean them out a little. Well, we're out in the bike shed, and let me tell you, every job has that little portion of the job that you don't like doing. This is it, because it's cold out here. Anyhow, I need to get these lines out of here. Yeah, that was easy. So let's take this in the shop and clean it up. Okay, before I go back in the shop, I'm going to have to change this bag anyhow, and I'm also going to have to change this filter bag, because the filter bag has got a hole in it. So there's just a super duper large cable clamp here. All right, now we lift this down out of here. So what you're looking at here is, this is the pipe that came through the wall into the shop from outside. So it's the second last pipe to the inlet to the dust collector. And that's pretty well clogged up. So there's the down pipe that went to the inlet to the dust collector. So that's pretty well clogged too. This elbow right here, this elbow is the inlet to the dust collector, and this is what I'm talking about here. This, all that goo, that's just as hard as rocks. So I've got to get all that cleaned out. Plus this elbow over here, which is the elbow that joined to the top of this down piece, and you can see that one is totally clogged. So I've got some cleaning to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is the horizontal pipe that went from the shop out to the bike shed where the dust collector was. Looks a little better. There you go. And the there's, you know, that it almost looks like a particle board that's been exposed to the wet. That stuff is damp right now to the touch. So now the next task is all those fittings and the little short pieces. I'm going to have to go to work and clean those, but I'll have to clean those by hand. And we're going to try and clean up this base unit of our dust collector today. So I got the shop vac out here, and we're just going to try and vacuum up as much of this sawdust as we can get. It's not super clean, like I wouldn't want to eat my lunch in there, but it's clean enough, I think, for what we need. I'm going to start putting it back together. So I got this little stub put in here to the inlet side. I got this now piece, and what I've done is I've marked, to make sure I get the joints all put together tight, I marked 1.5 inches down from the ends of all the pieces, so I know that they're in the fittings all the way. So if I put that in there, slide that down, I'm not gluing these joints, I mentioned that before, and they're just friction fit. There's no doubt that there's going to be some air loss around them, but if I ever have to take it apart again to maintain it, it's going to be easy to do. So I've got to start on putting the main trunk line back inside the shop here. So now the next thing is we put one of the long trunk lines in over here. So we're going to continue with those installations and probably just show you the end unless I run into some problems. I'll show you how I get out of those problems. So I've got my drop here for the chop saw of the dust collector here set in place. But I need a brace back here, right? So I made this little bracket, just a couple pieces of scrap, of course. It's hard to find scrap around here now because I burned it all. So this is going to go right in here, set up against the bottom of the trim piece on the top of the window. So then I took a piece of, they call it plumber strap, eh? I use this a lot. I find it really, really handy for making little straps, brackets, you know, clamps, things like that. So we got this drop here for the table saw back in place and strapped down good and tight. We have this drop over here for our bandsaw back in place, and we've got the main trunk lines all secured. I ordered a new dust filter bag for the top, so that came in today, so we're going to put that on. And I just put an ordinary plastic, I guess, garbage bag on the bottom. You have to get this mini band clamp on it. This is something easy, isn't it? I'm hoping the filter bag is going to go up easier. This is supposed to be a 1 micron filter. There we go. You got it on that time. Yeah. All right, there we have it. You stay here, I'm going to go turn it on. Glad I got the dust collector cleaned out, and a new filter bag outside there is going to be really, really nice, eh? Thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget, thumbs up me. Leave me some comments if you don't mind, and have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.